Good Friday morning, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to yet another edition of the chat, also known as the Alan Fitz podcast. Good morning to you. My name is Alan Fitz. I am the host for the program, and thank you. And once again, welcome into the show, live from our studios here in Amarillo, Texas. Well, as I always start off each program, I want to welcome in our three main listening audiences, if you will, that listen to the podcast. Those that do agree with what we talk about, they do leave positive remarks out there in social media land, and we do thank y'all for that. Our number two listening audience, well, folks, they don't quite agree with everything, but they do leave positive criticism, and we do appreciate that. And, of course, last but not least, we cannot forget about the haters out there. Apparently, they cannot see the forest for the trees, so we just don't pay any mind to them. On the podcast today, I have a special guest. I'm going to let him introduce himself to you, and then we'll get this podcast started. His name is Roy Camacho from here in Amarillo. Welcome, Roy.
Thank you, Alan.
All right. This is Roy's first time on podcast, so be patient with him. I think he's got a little bit of microphone fried here. Tell us a little bit about you, where you went to high school, and how you wound up here in Amarillo.
Well, I was in Abernathy High School, where I went to graduated in Abernathy back in '89. Then from there, I did little odd jobs here and there. Then I got my CDL, drove for a company in Arkansas. Been there for about 6 years. Came to Amarillo to get off the truck so I could spend time with my son. I was supposed to graduate this coming year in May. And my journey as a truck driver, I love what I was doing. But the money is not all about the money. It was about him, because I lost a lot of time with him. I know I did. It's just that he didn't know what I was doing, but at least he knew what money where I was supporting him. Where when his mom got child support from me, that's how he was making his living. But she didn't tell him all that. She told him I was out there doing what I'm not supposed to be doing, and I don't believe in stuff like that. So,
okay, Roy, for the folks out there that may not know, exactly where is Abernathy and what county is it in?
It's in Hale County. It's between Hale County and Lubbock County. So it's like 10 miles from the Lubbock County line, and Lubbock County is the rest from. There's a store called Lowe's. Then from there, it goes on further up towards New Deal and then everything else.
So Abernathy is going to be south of Plainview.
Yes.
Right off Interstate 27.
Yes, sir.
All right. How did you wind up coming to Amarillo and staying here permanent?
Well, I got to interview you for this post office here in Amarillo. And, well, I started to look there in Lubbock, but nobody called me from there. So the guys here, they ran all my information and stuff. And when they got all that done and got everything together, that's when I left what I was doing for the company that I was working for in Arkansas. So that's how I ended up here in Amarillo.
How long have you lived in Amarillo?
About a year and a half now.
You like it a lot better?
Oh, I like it. It's just the only thing here in Amarillo. It's everything is scattered. But
yeah, for about 12 miles down Interstate 40, that's right.
Yeah, it is. It's different. But I got to know a lot of good people. Amarillo it's a good place. People talk about it like it's bad, but it's not. The only difference is just where you have to go. Everything is scattered. It's not like the Lubbock area. The Lubbock area, everything is in, and Amarillo is just scattered.
For you folks out there that may not know this, Roy and I are actually best friends here in town. And I invited him to come on the podcast to basically tell a story of a extremely bad marriage that he was involved in, kind of get his insight of kind of what you went through, the afterlife of divorce, of how you've had to adjust, and a few things off of his chest. So, Roy, have at it.
Okay, well, I met his mom not too long ago. We were, I guess you could say, we were high school sweethearts for a while. I mean, and we started being together and whatever else. I mean, she was married before we actually got together, but when she got divorced, then that's when we started a little more, and then we created our little wonderful bundle of joy, which my son.
What is your son's name?
Xavier.
Xavier. Okay.
And anyway, I went back. Well, I actually went to trucking school for a while for a company out of Dallas, and started there for a little while, and then happened to hold, something happened, and then I came off the road and then go back to finish what I was doing, but I did it on my own. So I actually got my license. I didn't finish the school there in Dallas, and I decided to do it on my own. So I did it on my own. That's how I got my CDL, through my own way. It went through a school or nothing. I got it on my own.
How long have you had a CDL?
I had it for maybe going on about 15 years now.
Okay.
Like I said, there's a lot of stories that people say with that when I go into my small town called Abernathy, and people look at me like I did something wrong, but which I didn't. I created a better life for my son. I know it took a lot of years away from him, but I mean, like I said, it's just, he don't know why I left. There was a lot of things that he probably heard that I did wrong or whatever. And I did work for another company out of Lubbock for about 2 years, and lived in Lubbock for about a year and a half, and then worked with them. And then once I decided to let go of my CDL, I worked for another company out of Shallow Water, Texas. And then when that place closed down, I was there for about a year and a half. Then they were closing the doors due to funding or something happened, or like I said, I won't discuss what happened to their deal. I mean, it's a private matter that happened, and so I moved on, and that's when I started for the company there out of Arkansas, and was there for about over 6 years, and then I decided to come off the road and be here and try to get to know my son. And it wasn't awkward or nothing. I mean, I was there for his birth, as he was growing up, and then I decided, his mother just never supported what I did for a living.
And this was back in Arkansas.
What was that?
He was born in Arkansas, correct?
No, he was born in Lubbock.
Okay.
He was born in Lubbock.
Okay. So during the time that and it sounds like you were jumping from company to company while he was in Lubbock, were you married at that point?
I wasn't married. We were together. I guess you could call it like common law married, is what they would call it. I mean, we were together for about 3 or 4 years probably, and that's what they ended up calling as common law marriage.
Right. Okay.
But never had to go through a divorce or nothing like that. Divorce was never there. So, I mean, we just went on separate ways, and she did her thing and I did mine, and
do you have any idea what your son was told during this time?
A lot of bad things. Like I was out there having hookers in my truck and stuff like that, which that was never the case because companies that I worked for never allowed it. And I'm that type of person that...
I don't think any of the companies allow them old lot lizards to get up.
Well, some companies do, some companies don't.
Right.
And I'm not going to mention, there is companies that are well known, but like I said, I seen it because I witnessed it myself. But like I said, I'm not going to talk about that company.
So y'all were living together when Xavier was born, but you were jumping from company to company to try to find better pay.
Right.
And this is when he started hearing all this negativity about you.
Right.
Where do you think this negativity came from?
His mother, I imagine. I mean, his mother and his sister, his other older sister that he has.
What type of relationship did you have with your son back then versus today?
Well, back then, I mean, he never left my sight at all. I mean, we were like, inseparable.
Mm-hmm.
So when I decided to go over the road, that's when it actually became where, well, your dad left us because, he just wanted to leave and stuff like that. And
so this was your common law wife. And let's just use her first name that way. If I have to re-reference it, what was her first name?
Ressa.
Okay. So during the time that you were off on the road, Ressa, as you're saying, started filling his head with a bunch of negativity because you weren't there with him.
Right. I mean, this has happened when he was about maybe 10.
Okay, well, first, listeners, I want y'all to understand a 10-year-old child's not going to understand why daddy is not always at home. They haven't got to the age to know that yet.
Right.
So my question to you is, what right did she have, in your opinion, of filling negative information into your son's head?
She didn't. Mean, like I said, I don't know where she decided to do this. I guess it's because she's trying to come back, and I told her once that I left, I wasn't coming back, and I told her after I left the job there in Lubbock with the company. Well, it's a auto parts company, and anyway, I knew that she was feeding him because she had different men in my son's life trying to make him call them dad or something like that. And that's something
while you were together?
Yeah.
So in other words, while you were on the road, she was out flaunting around, so to speak.
Right. Yeah.
How did you deal with that, Roy? I mean, at first, you probably didn't know about it.
Well, I didn't know anything about it because when I came home and when my job got done from the company that I was working at Lubbock, because I was working in Lubbock, then I was training in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And I was training new guys there in and out every once in a while. Sometimes I was in Albuquerque for months at a time. And then from there, I helped a guy that was on vacation in El Paso, and I ran his route for about a week or two. And then that way I gave him a break. That way, that's what I did for him.
Did you ever formally go up to her and ask her, you suspected something that was going on?
No, I did not.
And you had no idea this was happening?
No, I didn't.
But you could see the change with your son?
Yes, I could.
What did you see?
A lot of anger towards me. I mean, him trying to fight me and stuff like that, like he was mad at me because I left or something, or because I went there or anything. I mean, like I said, if it weren't for me, he wouldn't have what he has today.
Right.
I mean, his mom always throws to me on my face that, well, I bought him his car, or his first car, or whatever. I said, yeah, but my money helped as a way somewhere.
If you don't mind, explain to the listeners, how did you and her meet?
Well, we met in the high school where we were actually going to the church called the Church of the Nazarene, First Church of the Nazarene there in Abernathy. We were going through Youth Arama and stuff like that, and that's how we got together and started talking. And I mean, it wasn't really bad. I mean, it was just like I said, it's just stuff like that gets to me because, they don't know. I mean, it wasn't like we were actually throwing stuff at each other. We weren't throwing stuff at each other. I mean, we got along just fine, It was
no physical altercations.
No,
okay.
No physical altercations. I mean, there was no, slamming or throwing stuff around him or nothing like that. I mean, we did it. in the room. We talked and we talked in the room. We didn't show it to.
So y'all tried to handle this like two sensible adults without his presence.
Right.
Okay. When you found out the very first time that she was seeing other men, what was your reaction?
Well, my reaction is so you try to accuse me of something when I was in Albuquerque. Then it was actually you doing it because you had those other men on your telephone. I mean, I'm a guy that I'm not going to go through her phone. I'm not going to be that kind of guy. If I'm going to trust a woman, I should trust her with my whole heart, no matter what.
Yeah, respect her privacy.
You know,
exactly.
and that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to tell her, well, who was that you were talking to or whatever. I mean, I'm not that kind of guy. I won't do that.
Right. When you first learned that, or noticed, I should ask, you had talked earlier about your son was always angry at you. When did you come to terms that there was something wrong?
Well, when he was about 12, I guess you could say. I mean, I could tell more or less that he kind of got mad and stuff. And
So what did he get mad at?
I mean,
Just your presence?
yeah, just my presence being there. It's just like he didn't know who I was. Well, he knew who I was because, I mean, like I said, when he was smaller, and I mean, I raised him until he was maybe, I'm going to say 8, 9, I guess, when I left to go do what I was doing. And I guess he didn't understand what come I wasn't helping his mom. I said I was because she was receiving child support from him. So, I mean, she was getting money from me. I mean, it's not like.
So you were court ordered to pay child support.
Right.
Now, how did this happen if you two never married?
What do you mean?
Well, you said you never physically got married to her. Y'all lived together. How did, I believe it was Lubbock County?
Hale County.
Hale County, out of Plainview, ordered child support on you. How did that happen and you never married?
Well, it's because, I mean, once you, because his birth certificate, I signed his birth certificate's name as I was the father, legal father. So that's how it was to become that I had to pay child support no matter what. I mean, it's just the state of Texas. That's how.
That's exactly right.
State of Texas. If you're common law married, and if you sign a man, I mean the kid's birth certificate, you're actually responsible.
You're the legal father. That's right.
Right.
Okay, let me ask you this. So you started noticing that your son, even by your presence, would start getting mad at you. Did you ever question your son what was going on?
I did. Like I said, I didn't blame him because,
well, it's not his fault.
I mean, he didn't know any better and stuff. And I couldn't take anger of him because, I mean, I love my son. I mean, my son meant the world to me. I mean, people don't think my son means the world to me. He meant everything to me. And then when that father and son bondship actually broke apart, it's because his mother, took his phone away. I couldn't talk to him. And, and she told me, well, you could call me. I said, yeah, that's why I bought him a cell phone. So I have communication.
You want to talk to him. You don't want to talk to her.
Right. I wanted to speak to him, not to her. And I thought that I had a legal right, but the child support office says, no, you don't. I said, okay, I guess.
You do not have a legal right?
Yeah.
That's what they told you?
That's what they told me.
Really?
Yep.
Well, we do live in a different generation of time. Laws have changed. Roy, how did you physically as a person deal with this, knowing this was going through your son's mind, what he's being told?
Well,
it takes a strong individual to.
It does because, the way my mother's always told me is let them be because, let them do what they're going to do because that's what's going to happen because my mom knows who she is, my sisters and everybody else that knows her, they know who she is and they know how she is and stuff like that. When she has a mindset of something, that's what she's going to do. Okay. And that was her intention to break that father and son relationship. And that was her intention totally to do is to break us apart.
Did she ever attempt to get sole custody of your son?
No, she didn't try to do that.
Okay. All right, let me ask you this. How old is your son now?
He's 18 now.
He's getting ready to graduate high school.
Right.
Describe the difference between then and now of the closeness of father and son.
Oh, we're way distance compared to what we used to be. um, this past, his junior year, I went to a lot of his football games and baseball games, and I thought we were getting closer and closer, and then all of a sudden, everything stopped, and and there was every once in a while that I'll have time and we'll go out to eat together. Trying to build that father and son relationship back, and I guess when I never came home over the road, because it ain't like I got to come home so often because I had to be out for so many weeks and then home for whatever it was. And sometimes I could be home for a week, but I never got to spend time with him because his mom always had something going with him, stuff like that. So,
do you think now, at age 18, that he's still mad at you? Do you think he's forgiven you? And you really haven't done anything wrong, but if you go back, you were talking about him at an earlier age. He was blaming you for everything. Do you think he understands this now?
Not really. I don't think everything was told to him like it's supposed to have been told to him. It's just that, I don't know, she tries to tell him, because he sent me a text, and we were texting quite a while, a little bit, and he was telling me that, Mom told me to try to stay away from you. I said, oh, why would she do that? And his response, I don't know, because every time he hears Camacho, it's like, I said, but that ain't who I am. I told you when you were growing up, I said, you have to make a name for yourself. I said, this is totally up to you. And then recently that I noticed that he changes his last name from Camacho to her maiden name, which was Shap. And now it's like, why am I responsible for paying child support? That's why I don't understand. On paper, I see it's still Camacho.
Well, he was still under 18 at that time.
Right.
That's probably why. You had mentioned earlier in the podcast, and you talked to me about it before we got on pre-recording this, something about that everybody, you go back to Abernathy, and people look at you like you've done something wrong. Explain that.
Well, why are you entitled to be here seeing your son play because you've never been here? It's because what their mother told you guys. Like, I was never there. I said, but she never told you guys that I was supporting my son. I support my son, everything that he does, no matter what it is. He tells me that I decide not to do this. I said, well, it's up to you. I said, I told you when you first started high school, your freshman year, you played all the sports that you played. And I told him, I said, you're going to figure out what you want to play and what you don't want to play. I said, and the two sports that you chose was football and baseball. And then you ran track, which, hey, I'm proud of that because, you accomplished something that I never could have. But you did. You made a name for yourself. And people know who you are now. It's not because you did it. You did it because I told you. I said it takes courage and confidence, and you had all that. And I'm proud of him because of what he done.
Is your son expected to go to college? Has he talked about where's he thinking about attending college at?
I don't have no clue.
Okay. Did he say what he wanted to be?
Well, he said he wants to be a coach, so that way he could be involved in sports like he was and get to teach other kids and stuff like that. I said, do what you have to do. I said, it's whatever you think you need to do. I said, you do it. I said, but figure something that you want to do. But he wants to be a Major League Baseball player is what he wants to do. But there's people that are saying that he can't. I said, like I told him, you can't listen to people like that because they're trying to keep you to where you only could do a bare minimum. I say, and I told you, I said, you could always achieve beyond that. It's up to you. You can't listen to everybody else.
Roy, it's almost like you're saying in a way that your son is doubting what you're telling him. Do you think that's spot on there?
That is spot on. That is actually true.
Do you think that in time you can make that correction?
I'm hoping I can. Like I said, I don't have any communication with him now. And
you going to his high school graduation?
No.
Okay.
Because I ain't got no invitation. So,
well, I don't know why would you have to have an invitation to do that?
Well, because it's on a Saturday, but I don't know what time on Saturdays.
Okay.
It's on a Saturday, but I don't know what time on Saturday.
We can check into that for you, and I'll let you know some, because that would probably be the highlight of his life right there. Now, you had said earlier, and you told me this off mic, and you said you wanted to watch what you say. But in all this struggle that you've had with him and her, what is this going on with Abernathy Police Department?
Well, I have a little brother that actually did his time like he's supposed to have, and they always harass him. Right now he's in Hale County for no reason. And
you're talking about Hale County Jail?
Yeah.
Okay. And he's been to the penitentiary?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
But anyway, he's trying to make a living, and they always harassing him about this and that. And he did what he's supposed to have done. He reported and did what they asked him to do. And now
you're talking about reporting as in probation?
Well, not probation.
Parole.
It's not parole either.
Okay.
It's back in when he was younger, he was involved with this young lady. And I guess they were about the same age, but the only difference is they were like maybe a month apart or something. And they were having sexual stuff together. And for some reason, he had to register as a sex offender.
Okay.
And every year he has to report to the library and to the police department and write his name that he checked in, that he
registered, yeah.
Right, that he registered every year.
That sounds like before the Romeo and Juliet law was founded. So when you go to Abernathy to visit your mother,
mm-hmm.
you see this happening. You see people looking at you funny.
Yeah, not just
like, what the hell have I done?
Yeah, what did I do wrong to? I didn't do anything. I volunteered half of 7 years for the fire department. I did 7 years for the fire department. Which I enjoyed those times. The chief of the fire department, he was a real good guy. He taught me a lot of things that nobody else could. And I was proud of that because he taught me that, and I learned to be a firefighter. And I've been through different things, different scenes that we go on, and there was a scene that, to this day, it still eats at me, but, it's something that we can't talk about, only to certain people that we could talk about. Like my fire chief be the only one that I'd like to speak to, because that would actually, that one incident that happened, man, I tell you, it turned my life around differently.
Go ahead.
It's just, when you smell something way different, it's just totally different. It's just, when you smell human remains, it's not the same.
Right.
It's not the same because, it takes something that's like, man, that could have been my kid there, or that could have been my mother or whoever, and I was in that incident, and it's like, man, it was tough.
Okay, we're exactly at our halfway mark here on the podcast. And I want to throw something up to you. You and I are pretty close in age together. Do you think Now you have to go back into the generation of time that we were born in. Okay, we live in the new generation of time now. Where I'm going with this is I'm going to make a point of why people you may think they're staring at you, whether they really are or not. But I'm going to throw something up at you and see what your answer is to this. Do you think that possibly one of the reasons that you're seeing what you're seeing is because your child was born out of wedlock? You remember back when you and I were growing up, the 70s and 80s and all that, people kind of fretted on that. This is the new generation of time, but yet he was born right at the change of time. Do you think that could be something? Because, Abernathy is a little bitty town. Yep. And everybody knows the 3 S's on people in a little town like that. Do you think they're blaming you as the man for having a child out of wedlock?
Possible, but back in our time, when you marry, you're supposed to marry to have kids. I mean, that's what the goal in life is.
Right.
It's to have kids with your wife and stuff like that, which I understand that. Back when I was born and getting raised, everything wasn't like this. I mean, everything is different.
No, you're right.
Everything changes real fast. And it does. I mean, like they say, time is changing, and it is. I mean, the good man is coming, and he's coming soon. I mean, you see it because time is changing differently. I mean, how people react to different things, and back in our days, you didn't hear about all this other stuff. I mean, you could leave your doors wide open and your screen door and look out there, and people don't say nothing.
Right.
And, you could wave to your neighbors, and it's not like that nowadays. Nowadays, you got to lock your doors. You can't.
Well, nowadays you wave at your neighbor. You either call the police or shoot at you. It's one or the other.
Yeah.
But you going back like in the 70s and 80s, and you'll remember this, you would hear about a man and a woman that would have a child, but they were basically, I guess I'll just point blank come out and say it, shacked up, if you will.
Right.
And people looked down on them. Right. And that's why I was asking you, because we're in the new generation of time, and he's just 18 now. We went right over that mark with the new generation of time. Do you think it's a lot of the people that's looking at you the way they are, they're still back in the old generation?
They probably are. I mean, they just can't understand the new generation. I mean, back in those old times, we understood. We understand that being married is having kids as husband and wife. But now, nowadays, everybody's doing it. They shack up and have kids. But, it's not like, how would I say that? How would I say this? It's the new generations that actually, we have kids, but I take full responsibility of what I make. I'm taking responsibility.
You're on the right track.
What I created. I'm a man who says I'm going to take care of my kid, and I'm going to take care of my kid. Maybe not in different ways, but when I pay for child support, I think it should go towards him, not to somewhere else.
Right.
Not giving it to somebody else or whatever else. It's supposed to be for him, for his convenience.
Well, that was in the old generation of time. The new generation, and folks, the truth is the truth here. A lot of these kids act the way they do because it's the parents. I have actually been into a Walmart. I don't remember if it was here in Amarillo or not, but there was a woman at the checkout line, and there was a little girl. She couldn't have been probably more than 7, 8, 9 years old that was wanting a candy bar. Mm-hmm. And the mother told her no. And she basically turned around and called her mother a bitch. that's the parents' fault. Okay.
Yep.
That's the new generation of time. I'm sure if you called your mother that back when you were growing up, you wouldn't be sitting here today. I'd be talking to you out there at the graveyard somewhere.
Yeah, you're right. You're totally right, because my mother didn't play with those kind of words. Those were something I said, oh, you got to come home. I said, when you came home, she don't forget. She remembers. That's for sure. My mom, she knew me. If we did something wrong, she'll let us know when we come back home. And if you didn't do your chores when you got home, it's basically,
Roy, do you think Xavier, your son, because he's in the new generation of time, he didn't get to cross over? Do you think maybe he doesn't understand a lot of this?
I think, yeah, I don't think he understands as much. Like I said, it's because his mother don't tell him the way she was raised and how it was told to be raised normally and stuff like that. And
this new generation has no idea what life used to be like.
No, they don't, because I feel sorry for my son, because it's changing, and it's not going to be the same, where it's going to be totally different. It's not going to be the way that we were raised. Everything's going to be said, it's supposed to be done this way, or it's supposed to be done that way. No, they don't understand how it's supposed to be actually done the way we were raised. Back then, we could do things, but there's only certain things we could do,
right,
and certain things that we cannot do. We all knew it, like smoking and drinking and stuff like that. Some of us did it, but we learned from it. And we grew out of it.
Surely not. Nobody was smoking back in the 1970s.
Oh, no.
Now, come on now.
It's just not.
Well, if you did do that back then, you were hiding it.
Right.
This generation of time, they'll do it in broad open daylight.
You're right.
And I think Xavier, and I've never met the young man, I think he sees a lot of this. And I think he's confused on some things. And I think you've done an excellent job, just by what you've told me, trying to lead him in the right direction.
Yeah, I try to lead him straight, and yeah, he's got her side of the family that they go out and they have barbecues, and he sees all that drinking and smoking and all that stuff, and I told him that ain't got to be your life. Your life,
and he stays away from that.
Well, I tell him, you can't do that. And I said, you're where people's going to see, and they're going to say, well, you must have learned it from your daddy. And that's who they're going to blame, is your daddy, not your mother.
Do you think your son shows any, this may be the wrong word to use, lifetime resentment against you?
No, I don't think so. I don't think he used the resentment towards me. I know he wants to get to know his father. It's just that his mother's not allowing it for some reason. So, but like I said, he'll know in time. Once he gets out of high school and into college, I imagine he'll reach out to his dad. And I'm looking forward for that.
I think you're right, because once he he is 18 now, but once he graduates high school and he gets out on his own, she's not going to have the control over him.
No, she's not.
And what are your plans with that?
Well, like I said, if it does happen, I'm looking forward for it. It's not just so we could actually sit and talk like we should talk, like a son and father should talk. I'm not going to show no resentment towards him or nothing like that, because I don't hold anything against him at all. The blame should go to his mother. Everything that they were saying and she said to other people out there, and, tells him that I'm a deadbeat father or whatever. People know different, because, you see me, out here, I respect people. I don't disrespect until I get disrespected. Then I'll let you know what I think about you, and then, it is what it is. We've been friends for now over a year now, Alan?
Yes, Roy and I see each other about once a week, and the way we actually met was in a laundromat. Yes. We all go wash clothes on Sunday morning, and we've actually built our group, so to speak. We've got more people now, and and that brings me to this. Do you know the lady I'm talking about, Irma? Mm-hmm. That brings her son up there,
right?
And I see you talk to him like he was one of your own. You
Right.
respect
Yeah.
him, he respects you.
Right.
But the thing that I'm biggest in fear of right now, Roy, is that she's done some kind of damage to him earlier in life. How are you going to deal with that when he comes up to you and says, Dad, why did mom do this? How are you going to react to that?
Well, I'm not going to take. I mean, I'm not going to talk bad about her. I'm going to tell him, well, questions like that, you might want to have to ask her when you realize what we talk about, and then you piece it yourself together however you want to do it, and how you want to explain to your mother why she did you that way and cheat you out of being with your dad when I was trying to take him over the road with me, and I understand he lost a buddy of his with his father. I mean, that his father took him over the road, and I don't know what happened. That some about the rig or something. I don't know what happened. Like I said, I don't know everything about it, so I don't know. I guess he sees what his buddy went through, and he didn't want to go through that. In which I told him, that's fine. I mean, I respect that, and I know what you've seen, and I know what your buddy went through, and any kid should never go like that. I said, but you shouldn't actually judge your father because your friend went through it. Don't mean your dad's going to put you in that situation either. I said, I'm a better driver than that. When I'm on the road, I make sure, I mean, whoever's with me, I'm going to make sure they're taken care of. The way they came in my truck is the way I'm going to take them back home.
If you had to do it over again in life with him, what would you have done?
Well, I don't know. I think I would actually, because I told his mom about him going on the truck with me, and she finally said no because he's going to be gone away from me. I said, yeah, but that's not the deal. I said, because
was she afraid you're going to kidnap him or something? Or
I guess take him somewhere else that I wasn't going to bring him back. I said, but he got to see something totally different countries, different states, and
right.
Everywhere. I mean, I didn't even sit in picture when I went through Florida, and I said, this is where I'm at now in Florida. Or if I went to Georgia, I took a picture of Georgia sign. This is where Dad's at now. He goes, Dad, how do you get there from there fast? I said, because I sleep and I go.
That's what the truck drivers do.
Yeah, I sleep and I go, like I told him, I shared pictures with him and where I've been and where I've gone, and showed pictures inside my truck. I said, there's nobody in my truck.
But you couldn't convince her of that.
Right.
Okay. Well, we've got about 15 minutes left. What advice would you give folks out there that are going through this same scenario?
Well, it's tough. I mean, it's tough to be a truck driver. I mean, for the living, for what we do out in the road, but that's how we bring y'all's clothes. I mean, people that go shopping without truck drivers, you won't have what you have in stores. Without truck
basically won't have anything.
Right. Without truck drivers, I mean, you won't have anything. But people get us drivers as CDL drivers, image a totally different image to what good we do here in the community for everybody. And I mean, people would be couples that have husbands that are truck drivers. Y'all know what they go through. And some of y'all have husbands that are still truck drivers, but y'all get along together because that wife knows what he's doing, and that he's not out there doing what people are thinking they're doing.
Did you ever ask her if she wanted to go over the road?
And never did, because she has to take care of him and stuff like that, and she didn't only have him, she had her other child as well, so that's why she couldn't go over the road with me. That way she could know what kind of life it is to be out there.
Do you still consider all three of you a family?
Yes, I do. I mean, I don't.
Y'all don't have any hard feelings against each other?
No, I don't. I mean, she might, but I don't. I mean, like I said.
Well, that's pretty obvious that she blames you for a lot of things, but I'm just wondering if he's planning on, and he's in Lubbock, so he's real close to Midland.
So
probably could guess he would probably go, what is that, Texas Tech?
Texas Tech, where I know he was thinking about coming up here to his
West Texas A&M in Canyon.
in Canyon, WT. But like I told him, you go where they offer you a better. I mean, if it's a 4-year scholarship that they pay for it, I said you go where they.
That's what I was fixing to ask you if he was going to get a scholarship.
I'm hoping he does.
Uh-huh.
You know, he does his homework. That's for sure. I mean, he's a good student. I mean, and I talked to a lot of people. His high school, his principal, and I talked to his principal quite a bit. And when I was going to his high school game, he goes, "Man, Xavier, he's a good kid." I said, "Well, I'm glad he is." I mean, his mom taught him to be the way he should be. You know, respect your elders and whoever. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Yes, sir. No, sir. Whatever it is, you know, you respect them.
Well, you know, he could go to West Texas A&M there in Canyon, and probably I don't know this for a fact, but probably in a couple of years, if things worked out, you could probably be a grandfather.
I'm hoping.
There's some good-looking gals running
yeah.
that campus down there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I know it is. I mean, he knows his future is bright. And I'm hoping that he looks that his dad's there or here in Amarillo, that in case he needs to get something or something like that, he don't always got to depend on his mother. He could call his dad every once in a while. He's got my number, you know.
Do you think your son will become self-supportive?
I think he will. I mean, but he'll reach out to his dad and say, "Hey, Dad, you know, Mom's not here. Mom's over there. What do you think about me doing this or doing that?" I said, "Well, I mean, all I could tell you is what I feel about it, but it's all totally up to you, how you feel about it. I mean, all I could do is offer you support.
Right.
Support is all I could do for you. I mean, if you don't go there, maybe join the military. It's where, you know, you don't have to go to the Marines or Army. Go to the Air Force or Navy or whatever you want to do. I mean, if you want to join to do that. And that way you could afford to pay for your college. I mean, go to the military, find something that you want to do, something that you're happy doing."
Well, you know, he's right around the door knocking on graduation next month. Has he indicated to you anything yet?
No, he hasn't.
Maybe he's still unsure.
He could be. I mean, like I said, you know, military life is not bad. I mean, some people say it is. Some ways it is. Now, I guess it is. I mean, but you can't look at the bad. You got to look at what he could do for the country, you know, help out, you know. He could learn a lot of things.
Knowing what Xavier has gone through, would you feel comfortable if he were called to combat?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'd be okay with it because I know he's out there doing service for us, for the United States, and keeping us safe, doing his duty diligently like it's supposed to be done. You know, not regretting it or nothing, saying that he fought for his country, doing what he loved to do. And that's what he wants to do.
Okay. In the time that we've got left, Roy, what advice would you give the listeners out there that are going through this same scenario with their child?
Well, I mean, you guys got to work together. Come up with a plan. Don't try to feed a child something different that if you don't know nothing about. I mean, trucker's life.
When that child gets older, that child's going to know the difference.
Right. He is, because he's going to see, well, Dad never did that because I'm here in the truck. Dad don't go out to females and tells them to go to the truck, whatever like that. You know, it's totally different. I mean, we do what we do for a living is that way our kids don't have to go to what we're doing.
Well, you know, this stuff she's talking about that you were running around picking up hookers and lot lizards and all that from a truck stop, that got started years ago with one bad apple in the bunch, okay? And people have gotten to think, well, all truck drivers do that, and no, that's not necessarily truth.
You're right.
You got some truck drivers that'll tell them lot lizards where to go and lock and slam the door.
Yep.
Okay, well, that makes total sense to me on that. But what advice would you lend to them beside what you've said, especially if they're going through the hardship of the child, not understanding either side, the mother or the father?
Well, make sure you get in contact with your kid somehow. I mean, find ways to get a hold of your kid. I know it's going to be tough for a little while, I said, but man, in the horizon sometimes, it looks real great for us, You just, we all have to communicate with our kid. And that's something that I was not capable to do. Not everybody gets a chance to talk to a kid. I did every once in a while, but not all the time, because every state is different. If I go to New York, it's a different time from here. Mm-hmm. So I could be in New York at a certain time, and here it's probably late at night, midnight. So, and it's totally different. So it's hard to communicate. So if you have a watch, keep a watch, but mine changes. So
you got one of those atomic watches?
Yeah. That changes times on its own when I'm in different time zones. So.
Right. What advice would you give the young people out there that are seeing this happening with their parents?
Well, if you're going to become a truck driver, make sure you get the information you actually need, because going out here, it's going to be tough and it's going to be challenging, for new couples, actually, because I see new couples going through this too. I got a couple of buddies right now that are, they talk to their wives and stuff like that about it. And the wife says, it's not a bad situation, but like I said, truck companies would work with us where we could be home every other weekend if we had to, if we need to. It's not that we can't. It's just we have to talk to our companies. The company that we go to work for, they know what we got to do, and explain to them, we have a son and we trying to be there for each other, and so that way, son to know that. And like I said, I came off the road every once in a while when his games were coming, and his mom let me know, well, this is when he was playing, you think you can make time to, and I show up. And I made sure I show up. It took me to run my tail off, but I made some of his games when his mom told me that he was playing.
All right, I've got one final question for you. You can draw this out a few minutes if you need to. You and I grew up in the old generation of time. We've crossed over to the new generation. You're a parent. In your own personal opinion, do you think that there is a problem going on right now with the communication of parents and children?
There is, because it's hard to, the communication with the child, with the father and son. Sometimes, when they get in trouble in school, and if you give them a phone or something, and that's the communication where, you could call your wife. If you all have that communication ways, I think it'll work a lot better. So that way, if he gets in trouble, say, well, son, I can't call you, so I got to call your mom and talk to you. But like stuff like the way that when he got in trouble, his mom never ever called me about it, that he got in trouble. Or
your son got in trouble?
Well, he got in trouble, but that's why he's got his cell phone taken away. But she never told me why he got his phone taken away.
Did he ever tell you?
He never told me.
Well, I believe there's a law in Texas right now that they can't have cell phones in the classrooms. Was it after that point, or?
Well, it was not. It was not in class.
Okay.
It was. I guess he did something that in class that his mom took his cell phone. He never took his cell phone to school.
She sounds like she's very controlling.
Yeah.
But it also sounds like her days are limited at this point.
Yeah.
Any final thing you want to add?
Well, parents that are going through some of what I've been going through, I said, make sure you find a way to communicate with your kid. Find every angle that you can. I don't know. reach out to them. I mean, if you have to, call their grandparents if you have their numbers, because I didn't have their number, so I couldn't call them. So, but at all means, try to find a way to communicate with your kid. Any way you can communicate with your kid.
Make time for your kid.
Yeah, I mean, I try to make time for him, and like I said, it's not just time. It's because, like I said, when I was in town, I called him. Hey, are you free? Or can I go pick you up? The only reason that I had trouble because I didn't have a vehicle at that time, and I was using my sister's car to go out and take him and stuff like that to eat and stuff like that. But we were limited to what we could spend. I mean, how much time we had to spend with each other. But like I said, you need to go anywhere else? I said, go buy your shoes, clothes, I bought him stuff, but stuff like that. His mother never told anybody that I bought him anything, like school clothes or stuff like that if he needed it. And I told her, what else does he need? Let me know what he needs so I could buy it for him. And I buy what he needed. Sometimes he bought 2 pairs of shoes, and I said, "You for sure that's what you need?" Yeah. Okay. Anything else? Yeah.
So he's not afraid to ask you for something. Okay.
Yeah.
He hasn't been led down the wrong way in that direction.
No. I mean, like I told him, I'm here for you, son. Anytime you need me, I'm here for you. Reach out to me anytime. I mean,
incidentally, does he ever come to Amarillo to see you?
No.
Okay.
No.
Hadn't got on the road that far.
No.
All right, one quick final question. We're going to be out of time. What's your favorite Mexican restaurant here in town? I knew you were going to start. There you go. Now you're talking.
La Fiesta, I mean, that's some real good food. And there ain't no place like La Fiesta. I mean, that's a real good Mexican food. I mean, places like that, man, it's hard to find here in Amarillo. You can't find them here in Amarillo. It's authentic what it is. I mean, it's a good place to eat.
Well, you got me turned on to it, that's for sure. Folks, that's going to wrap it up for this edition of The Chat. Roy, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to come do the podcast with us. Hopefully the folks out there that have listened to what you've had to say can apply it if they're having that kind of problems with their children.
You're welcome, Alan.
All right, folks, and that's going to wrap it up for this weekly Friday edition of The Chat. Check my YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/@AlanFitzPodcasting and also AlanFitz.com. The next topic will be posted if it's not already up. I don't look at that page that much, so I don't know what's on it. All right, my friends, that's going to wrap it up until next Friday. Have a great day, a great weekend. And as always, this is Alan Fitz saying bye for now.